Hello, good evening, and welcome to this presentation. Today we'll be looking at trend analysis for restaurants within US. The idea is there's a client who wants to get advice on which chain of restaurant to invest on. Informations have been gathered from different sources to present with him the best restaurant where in which he can invest, and also vis-a-vis the location, as well as the health sanitary situation of this location. So looking at the data, we have sales analysis of 10 restaurant vendors. So based on this analysis, we'll see that McDonald's has the greatest sales within 2017 compared to the other 10 restaurants. Now, looking at the trends by segment, we have I have been able to put together some trends by segments for my client. So I have as a segment, changing consumer preferences, labor strategies, real estate measures, and acquisition uptick, brand risk. So looking at the changing consumers' preferences, we want to consider the fact that consumer preferences will always continue to evolve during a deeper dive between driving a deeper dive between those seeking convenience and those closely chasing a memorable dining experience. Delivering is expected to continue to grow across all segments of the industry, but particularly in those segments already focus on convenience. As a delivery becomes more significant percentage of unit sales, operators will need to adjust operating models in the back of the house to accommodate high volume during peak hours, in the front of the house to streamline the pickup of takeout and delivery orders. That's for changing preferences. As far as labor shortages are concerned, we consider the fact that labor will continue to be the greatest challenge across the industry. Historically, low employment together with continued new unit growth will further stress the system. Real estate, it's always good to the real estate cost is likely to moderate over time as landlords begin to feel the pain caused by retail and restaurant bankruptcies. While retail isn't going away, retail footprints are definitely shrinking as online purchases continue to grow at faster rate than overall retail spending, and many restaurants segments continue to modify their operating models towards smaller boxes to adjust to changing the mix on to changing the mix. Now, having said that, we look at there are other trends. We have quick services, we have fast casual, we have casual dining, we have fine dining, as well as catch-alls. Now, with catch-alls, we have to take note of inventory management and customer data. The next thing we want to look at is the segments and how they are moving. So we look at the first 5 segments, which are all moving up. So changing consumer preferences is a segment that moves. Labor shortages moves as well. Real estate measures and acquisition uptick, and brand risk. So looking at the chart below, we see that based on consumers' consumers' preferences as it changes. Also, the consumption of the various food items also changes. For example, burger, snack, sandwich, pizza. At other times, snack could make more sales than burger, but for now, we see that in 2017, burger made more sales compared to snack and sandwich made more sales compared to pizza. And so this is how the segments have been moved from 20 between 2017 and 2016. Now we're looking at which segments, looking at what seems to be the deciding factor for success or failure. We say price is a measure factor that determines price is a major factor that determines the success or failure for an chain, one of the chains of the restaurant. So we'll say price is complicated and there's no one number and has not one number. So setting the right price, we understand that setting the right price point is no easy task. So you may want to bear with me that predict it. It's not that easy to predict how consumers will behave, but we can use pricing to our advantage. The solution lies in taking a strategic approach to pricing decisions. So we want to look at some key elements when it comes to pricing as a factor that affects success. We want to consider reinforcing the brand identity. In this case, we have to use the price to communicate with our brand stands to communicate what our brand stands for. For example, if the brand is about 1950 style fast food, then price we will be offering with then price we will be offering with that style. We'll probably can't change 50-cent prices, but we can price our offering for an even dollar amount instead of using today's 99-cent convention. Also want to look at the fact that we have to be clear about our competitive positioning. So we don't need to be afraid to change more if we are competing on quality, exclusivity, or superior experience. We want to consider very varying price to emphasize brand differentiation and value. So in this case, we are looking at the variable pricing draws at the fact that variable pricing draws attention to the value we offer to the one dimension that most meaningfully differentiates us from competitors. We also be considering the fact that the variation of price to target customer segments. In this case, we want to consider the variable pricing to appeal to certain customer segments. And lastly, we will be looking at anchor pricing. So in this case, when we talk about anchor pricing, I'm talking about the price that anchors that the price we anchor using cues to set the customer's expectation. That said and done, we'll be recommending I'll be recommending to my client the best restaurant chain to invest on. So in this case, I think investing on based on the data, investing on McDonald's will be the best choice. So first of all, it's the financial projection for donut, we are looking at a liquid cash of $750,000 liquid. Uh, we are looking at an overall investment of $2.2 million. The franchise fee is $445,000, and units in operation, it stands at $33,000. As far as weather condition is concerned, Bethlehem is uh, a good location. It doesn't have flood, even though sometimes they have though from sometimes they have flood, but it's always announced as to when flood will come. However, the flood is not that destructive. The geographic impact uh, shares the same situation with the weather and the sanitation. Of course, we there is Bethlehem is a clean and nice area, and already has some food industries around, some companies that are already operating within the industry, and the sanitation condition is perfect. So thank you for listening to my presentation, and I hope to see you in my next video.